Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week I am gonna try and create like a new kind of format of video. These monthly recaps, I kind of thought about it for a second, and to me it kind of occurred that like I don't really have that many interesting things going on in my life. I don't really like going out too much. I'm very much a homebody. And so because of that, I've opted to kind of try and just occasionally make these, not like weekly or monthly updates necessarily, but just like these what's been going on around me kind of things. Yeah, so I would probably say that instead of expecting monthly recap videos every month, maybe expect like one of these videos once a month, just at a random point. Maybe something big happens or something small happens, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to mention that. But yeah, I've had the last couple of days off, and so I've just kind of been doing a bunch of things. And once again, this month has been somewhat uneventful, but this is not a recap video necessarily, so I'm just going to talk about everything that I've been doing up until now, at least for this past week. But I have been trying to continue to work on that songwriting video that I have promised since maybe like the second video of this channel. So it's been a minute. And it's a bit disappointing, especially because May and June are coming up, and that's the deadline that I set for myself for my songs. So I do have to pick up the pace on that, and I did record a little bit of something, and so hopefully within the next 2 weeks I can show you guys some more of kind of my creative process as far as just songwriting goes. But for now, I'll just show you guys some footage that I got of me kind of in the process of songwriting. I'm not gonna let you guys listen to it, obviously, but yeah, like it's a very unserious kind of thing for me. But the other thing that I kind of want to talk about is I've been getting back into Magic the Gathering, which is very exciting. Back in high school, I used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering with my classmates, and that was probably one of the more nerdy things that I did back in school. And I was able to teach some of my coworkers about how to play it, and because when I first came back to the United States for college, I got money from my parents, and that was the first time that I had money that I was like, I can use this and I can choose how I want to use this. And yeah, I made quite a few poor financial decisions and just bought a bunch of Magic cards, specifically just like Commander precons. So, hopefully it'll be all worth it now. Unfortunately, the idea of getting back into Magic also includes like buying more and more new decks. So hopefully, I'm mature enough to kind of discipline myself and be like, hey, I don't need any more decks. But we'll see about that. But yeah, that's been a really great thing that's kind of been going on for me, as once again I've been having a couple of days off from work, and because of that I'm just having more time to try and figure out what should I be doing on my off days to fully kind of relax and take advantage of like me not having work, and playing video games and looking at my Magic cards. And as depressing as this sounds, playing Magic games by myself is one of the things that I enjoy doing. I don't have any siblings, and so like when I'd get home from school back in high school and I still wanted to play Magic, I would just play by myself. Obviously it sounds pretty sad, but what are you gonna do, right? So I'm really happy to kind of be getting back into Magic, as this is something that I never really stopped enjoying. It just I couldn't find people to get back into it with me, and thankfully now I've found a group of friends from work that are very, very into it, and I'm happy that we can play together now. The other thing that happened recently is my girlfriend's birthday happened, and Oh boy, do I have a story for you. So I I bought her a pair of shoes, and I also bought her a tile card, one of those kind of cards that can help you find your wallet. Like, it's a card that's like thin enough to fit into your wallet. The reason was because she lost her wallet not too long ago, and I bought her a new wallet while I was in Taiwan in March, and I thought this would be a good thing to get for her in case she loses her wallet again. So I bought her the tile card. As far as shoes go, I got her, I believe it's pair of specials, Adidas specials. It was like a pink gray colorway, and unfortunately, the package got stolen because it got delivered and then it got stolen. Um, and so that's very unfortunate, and I'm trying to kind of get the whole situation cleaned up. Um, but the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't actually know if I actually like, or I don't know if she would like those shoes, and I don't know if they would actually pair with her style. And so I opted to go for a pair of New Balance 530s that are kind of like in this. When I first saw it, the first color or the first thing I thought of was like a lemon. It's got like a lemon yellow kind of color on it, and I think it looks nice. I just wasn't sure if it would be a color that she liked it in. Fortunately, she actually did like it quite a bit, and she wears it a lot, and that makes me very happy to kind of see her, use the gifts that I got her. The final thing, though, that I got her was a bouquet, and man, this was a frustrating bouquet to kind of put together. And I'll show you guys a video of me, putting the bouquet together. But the story behind it is that I usually go to a Kroger to get the flowers, and usually the florist is there to give me parchment paper and like a ribbon of sorts, because I like tying my bouquets off. The florist was not there this time, and because it was on a Sunday, and so I kind of had to figure out where to get parchment paper and the ribbon myself. Unfortunately, Kroger themselves do not sell any of that stuff, and I thought that potentially I could do without it. And after kind of, tiring and just kind of chaotic series of events, I was able to get parchment paper from the deli at Walmart, and I mean, Walmart does sell ribbons, so I just bought a roll of that, and here you go. Like, here's what the final bouquet looks like. I do think my previous bouquet looked better, but this one was very, very rushed. I think for a rushed product, I don't dislike it. I just think that my previous one ended up looking better. But once again, if you got a partner, you should put bouquets together for them. Like, this is like total, like, it's like $25 or something like that. Like, it's really not that expensive, and I think that if you do it for your special someone, whether it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your partner, I think it'll mean a lot to them. And put in the effort, right? I think like these kind of gifts are really thoughtful, and I think that like they look really pretty, and it's genuinely not that difficult to do. Just get like a pair of scissors or like some snips, and just kind of trim away at the bad parts, and just start putting it together. And yeah, honestly, not that difficult. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. Okay, I caught up completely to Sakamoto Days, and I love this series. I've talked to a couple friends about it, one of which says, oh, it's just the same thing over and over again. Another friend which says, I like it, I like all the action. However, whenever they do start talking, it just kind of loses me because I'm not here for dialogue. Both, I think, are valid points, but to me, I think that what Sakamoto Days does very good is introducing like new ways to kind of carry out the same thing. This is very much so an action-oriented manga, and I think the creator definitely knows that. It's very self-aware. The story itself is kind of crazy, to be honest. Like, it gets a little crazy, and I think it's within the context of the universe that it's taking place in. It has that same kind of like kind of sense of disbelief, So I think it's within that frame or within that realm of possibility. But the fights, every fight is just incredibly captivating. And it's so difficult, in my opinion, to not enjoy this series, just because, like, I think from an action enthusiast standpoint, there's so many creative decisions that are being made within each of these fights. So many unique characters and unique matchups that we get to see within this series. And to me, that is just, like, there's, the writing is a part of that, How do you get these different matchups to come about, right? You need characters in different places at different times, or at the same time specifically. And, there's so many characters in the series that I actually really, really enjoy a lot. And I think another kind of really good aspect of this is just the design, and another thing is like the perspectives, right? Like there's these images that kind of popped up on my feed not too long ago, not of Sakamoto Days, but of just like other anime. Like an artist had recreated these kind of like unique perspective shots of different animes, like One Piece and Naruto and Hunter x Hunter. And Sakamoto Days itself has so many interesting like perspectives, like maybe someone is doing a drop kick and the camera angle is like it's like from the top of their head, but it's going straight down their body. Or maybe it's a punch being thrown through a miniature building, and like the way that like the shot is framed or the panel is framed makes it look like the two fighters are like giants in a city. And so it's like these kind of details just make the fights so much more interesting and epic, in my opinion, just because it's like, yes, it is the same thing, it's just a bunch of fights. But like when you are able to kind of like infuse each of these fights with like a unique kind of visual identity and a kind of creative, you make a creative decision with each of these fights to kind of make it look a certain type of way, to me, I don't know, that makes up for it completely. And as far as like the dialogue thing, I don't really mind. I think like I like the characters enough where it's like if there's like dialogue, to me, like a lot of the times it's like it's entertaining enough, right? But what it is true that like I'm not necessarily going to Sakamoto Days for like the dialogue necessarily, but I wouldn't lie, or I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say like I'm not invested in the story. I do think it is a manga that's worth getting into. But yeah, as far as like things that I've been reading or watching, that's really about it. I am probably gonna try and start Full Metal Alchemist soon. That's the goal, at least, and get more into like reading again. I've been trying to make sure that I work out a couple times a week, which I haven't been able to keep that up very well. But my work is very physical, and I already try and go play badminton at least once a week. And when I do go play badminton, it's at least 3 hours, if not 4 hours at a time. And I just think working out maybe like 2 times a week, it would be enough for me. And so I'm not like really trying, I'm not like a huge like gym buff. Like I'm not trying to go to the gym like every single day or like 6 times a day. 2 times a week, that's totally cool with me. Like I just want to stay fit, stay active, be healthy like that. But yeah, getting back in the books, I have a little library and I just don't read consistently enough to justify it. And unfortunately, I'm just a sucker for like good, like well-designed book covers, and so I just like buying books when I see a nice-looking one. But that doesn't pair well with me because I don't read at a quick enough pace to justify that. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping to get back into reading. And yeah, I'm reading a book on kind of anthropology, really. It's a book on exercise and kind of how humans evolved, or why humans have evolved to still be lazy and not like working out, basically. So hopefully as I continue to read that book, I can tell you guys more about it. But yeah, this is pretty much everything that's been going on with me. And once again, this is a recap video. Like we'll call it as it is. It is a recap video. Next week's video, I still don't know what I'm going to do for it because once again, next week is going to be very busy for me. But You know, maybe over the weekend I'll watch a series and I'll just review it or something like that. But I am really trying my best to make good quality content for you guys. Over this past week, I've been trying to see if I can, add a couple different ideas here and there, just to make sure that like these videos are interesting to you guys, and I am doing my best to make sure that this content is worth watching. And so yeah, once again, if you guys enjoy these videos, please let me know what you like about them, and if you don't like something about them, that is also valuable information for me. Tell me I suck, but tell me why it sucks. Yeah. But I enjoy this video making process, and once again, I do want to create something that like everyone else can enjoy as well. But once again, thank you guys for joining me for this week's video. Next week's video, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna find out together. But once again, please subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. You can like the video, you can tap the notification bell, all that YouTube stuff, and yeah, I will see you next week. Goodbye.